Hey, what's going on, my friends? So, I got my albino boa constrictor out right now, and I know I put out a video last night about me feeding my smaller snakes, and basically what I do after I feed my snakes is 24 hours after I feed them, I come back into the snake room. I double check the snakes to make sure that they're still in good health. There's nothing really going on with them body wise, and that they didn't regurgitate their meal within the last 24 hours. I try to refrain from holding my boas until that 24-hour period. Sometimes I'll push it to 48 hours, but mainly around the 36, 48 hours after that, I'm holding them, taking pictures of them, interacting with them again, and I've not had any issues with doing that as long as I've kept my snakes, which has been about 4 to 5 years. And so I just wanted to show you guys my albino, and also I did make a video, I think it was a couple weeks ago, about how I heat my snake room. I've been getting a couple comments from people about, I guess they're noticing when I'm pulling my smaller snake tubs off of my smaller rack right here, that I don't have any wires connected to it, and I'm not running heat pads, I'm not running heat tape, and I'm not running light bulbs for the heating of any of my animals. I do run an oil heater. My bedroom that I keep my snakes in is not very large, so it's easy for me to use ambient heat and to heat the room with just an oil heater. It definitely saves me a lot of money. I've noticed that the snakes act the exact same way as they would with the heat pads and the heat mats, and it's just a lot of wiring, a lot of electrical issues, fire hazards, and then constantly checking the temperatures, making sure that the heat is good enough to go through the tub and stuff like that. And it's just got to be just a hassle for me, so I just completely stopped using any of that stuff, and then I went with the oil heater. I did at first try to use a regular space heater, and then that was just skyrocketing my bills even higher. Then with the oil heater, I've noticed my bills are extremely less than what they were, and like I said, I've had no issues with my snakes. They eat fine, no regurgitations. The health on them is really good, no respiratory issues. I guess humidity could play a factor with that, with the heat, but again, I have no issues with my humidity. It's 65, 70 basically at all times, and that's pretty easily adjustable with the water dishes and stuff like that, or how many holes you have in your actual enclosure. So I just wanted to, hit on that mark real quick, since I'm getting some new subscribers, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's watching my videos and stuff like that. But if you guys are curious or wondering why I do not run the traditional heat pads, that's why. And obviously I've noticed with my snakes that they don't need a basking area or a heated area to lay on to correctly or fully digest their meals, because all my snakes digest their meals perfectly fine with ambient heat. Like I said, no issues. But I'm going to put her on my little thingy. See if what she's going to do about that. I don't want her to fall either. So let's see if she's got some good balance. And if I can get her on here, then I will move over and I'll show you guys. So we can just come over here real quick. And I have not been in the snake room yet today. I got home from work, had to do a couple things, and so we're both gonna have a first on that. So I think she's looking good, and So we'll just check these out. Now I know I gave a pretty big meal to my new boa constrictor, the jungle, Paso Hypo jungle to be exact. And I do apologize for shaking the camera. I'll just put it back on the tripod. And we will get into this really quickly. Not to try to make this a long video, but basically what I do is, yep, you know what I mean, water. I don't see any signs of regurgitation, and she obviously finished it, and no huge lumps, nothing weird going on with her, down her body, so she is good. And for those of you who have not had a snake regurgitate, it is definitely probably the most disgusting smell you have ever heard or smelled in your entire life. So my Motley is good. She fully ate, buried, which is fine. And I really don't want to mess with her too much, but I just like to, you know, double check everything, make sure no regurgitation, humidity is good. Forgot to put her water back in last night, so I'll do that right now. And then I gotta open this thing up. This is like Fort Knox. And my red tail is looking good. Definitely has a nice lump on her body from that big rat pup that she had. So far looking good. No regurgitations on her. Has enough water. So with that, put the lid back on. And with her, since she's had issues with feeding and regurgitation just as she was younger, I don't touch her for the full 48 hours. And then the king snake, I just dropped her food in there yesterday or last night, and I left it overnight. She ate it, and she's been really weird about eating out in the open, but definitely, you know, finishes her food when the lid's on and the lights are off. So Albino's kind of enjoying some time out. Oh yeah, I did feed my anaconda. So with her, she is alive, good. Really no noticeable lumps. I'm really thinking I should bump her up to maybe a small-ish medium. Maybe I'll do that on the next feeding. But man, a snake that's not even a year old or just at a year old eating mediums, ridiculous. And that's my normal. Just double checking some of these cages. And then this is my Argentine. And then she's in shed, so she dumped all of her water for whatever reasoning. And she's looking good too. Humidity is high in there, which is fine for her shedding. I've got no issues with that. And so that's it, guys. I do appreciate you guys watching my videos. I appreciate all my subscribers. And I'm just gonna hang out with her for a little bit. And I will see you guys on the next video.